Hello everybody, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I'm really nervous about this, but very excited. I've been wanting to do this for some time now, so I hope it turns out well and you guys enjoy, but I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments if there's something you dislike or would like me to do. So I'm looking for some direction, I guess, and hope you guys help me out. So Banished is a city building game of sorts, I suppose. More tailored toward the survival side of things, I would say, depending on what kind of style you choose to play in. I would say dictates how easy or difficult it becomes. I'm also using the Colonial Charter mod, Curse of the Golden Llama, quite simply because it adds so much to the base game. It's quite staggering how much it adds, and it just makes it so much more fulfilling. So we'll go ahead and start a new game, and as my name is Vapor, we'll call the town Vaporville. Now I guess it's not very unique, and quite a lot of people do it. It seems standard, so we'll go ahead with that. As for the name, we'll go into that another time and we'll explain where that came from, as it is slightly unusual. The map seed dictates kind of what your map looks like, really. I had a quick look earlier on to see if I could find something, so this is the map seed that I found, and it kind of suited what I wanted. Terrain types, well, from the base game to the mod, there's quite a difference. You have valleys and mountains. The Colonial Charter mod adds so much more. They don't have any description, unfortunately, but some of them speak for themselves, I guess. I'm going to go for verdant plains, just on the basis that I like my maps to be as flat as possible. There is some mountains and hills in there, just because it would be unnatural if there wasn't. But it obviously helps when we come to building large, sprawling towns. We're going to go for a large map. Not very large. Large is more than big enough, and I'm not sure I'll ever be able to fill it, but it's nice to have the space. Climate? Well, this is what I was talking about earlier, about it being potentially easy or more difficult depending on how you play the game. Now, I'm choosing Mediterranean as there's no such thing as winter, really. People don't really struggle with cold. Your crops that you plant will survive a lot easier. I remember when I first played the base game, I died so many times within the first year. It was really difficult, and I guess I learned quite a lot from it. Disasters will leave on because, hey, you know, why not? Starting conditions, we're going to go with hard, just because I don't want too much help from the get-go, and we'll get what we need along the way. We can make our own clothes and grow our own food. So yeah, okay, let's go. Okay, so here we are. Here are our citizens. The first thing I'm going to do is pause. You can do this by spacebar as well, but I'll do it on the screen just so you can see. We have a little menu here which has most of the useful information you need. Now, almost every game you play has some kind of heads-up display, and the videos I've watched on YouTube, everyone seems to have a very similar setup. Funnily enough, it's the setup I tend to kind of go with when I was playing before I did YouTube videos. So first of all, we have here obviously your town name, the time of year and which year you're currently in, your citizens. So you've got adults, tooltips in the way, adults, students and children. At the moment we don't have any students because we don't have a school. Then you've got your current weather and temperature. Now, as I said, because this is Mediterranean, the temperature doesn't drop too much, so hopefully no one will die of cold. But hey, anything's possible, I suppose. Then you've got some of your main resources, so you've got your logs, your fuel, which would be things like firewood to keep the houses warm, tools, and then you've got your stone, which is obviously used in construction, as well as iron. You've also got your general health and happiness of your citizens. Down here we have the event log, so this will tell you things like obviously births, deaths, and various other things. I'm hoping not to see too many deaths. I'm hoping they're just old age related, but hey, you never know. something could go drastically wrong. We've also got this professions list, which is, yeah, it's quite large now from the base game. They've definitely added quite a few. We won't delve too much into that just yet. So we could also, this is the map, we could have that up as well if you want, but I don't really think it's that important. If I just zoom out like this, I can see what I need to see straight away. So, right, we have obviously houses, which I don't really want to build just yet, so I'm going to go with the apple. Yep, that's food. So the first priority, I guess, from my perspective, is getting some kind of food. So here we've got raw food gathering, so it's things like hunters, fishermen, gatherers, etc, etc. I'm going to first place a fishing dock just because it's quick and easy. Personally, gatherer's hut, it's just a crazy amount of food they actually provide, and we will plot one of those, but you know, just to have a bit of variety, I guess we'll stick fishing as well. So if I come over here a little bit, click that. Now as you see, there's an orange circle around. It's the area of influence, or should I say the area that they'll actually work. So obviously, being a fisherman's hut, the more of that's in the water, the more fish they'll be able to catch. So as you can see, we've got this little green and red bit. The green bit obviously needs to be in the water, and the red needs to be on the land. So if I bring this across, you can use your R and T key, which will rotate the building clockwise and counterclockwise. So if you bring this across here, now if I can sneak that across a bit here. Wow, that's got quite a bit of water in it, so I think that's absolutely perfect. So if I plop that there, you can see it's left a little grey area where the building is. It tells you there's no trees to remove, so if I'd have built that here, there'd have been some trees, and then it obviously tells you then what you actually need to build it. That's not tools that are required, that's just how much work needs to be done, as it says there. So we'll leave that. The next thing we need to do is build a house for the fishermen to live in. There's quite a few now. We're going to go with wooden house just because that's the main one, and that can be upgraded to some of these ones further along, but we'll touch on that a little bit later when we get there. So same again, R and T will rotate. We've got to be a bit conscious because there should be a road here, so I don't want to block it. So I think that's it's going to be slightly awkward, isn't it? Nothing's ever simple. Judging the building can go there, we'll assume a road can go in. Also, the F key will change the model of the house, so you can go for something. Yeah, that suits about right. If the road is going past, we'll go with that. Also, if you're clicking several of them, it will automatically change, as you just probably saw there briefly. We've got roads here, so we'll go with a road. We'll go with the dirt road. It doesn't actually cost anything to build. It does provide a faster travel for your citizens, so as they walk along it, you'll see they'll move a lot quicker. They don't tend to follow it, so sometimes it's best to watch them and see how they're actually getting somewhere and build a road underneath them. They just go the most direct way, I suppose, but that could end up you need to do a very zigzag road. So we'll only build it a little bit across. And also what I'm going to do, under the storage, if we go to stockpiles, we'll choose this one. Literally there's quite a few, as I say, we'll go through, we'll touch on each one, but we'll go with the basic one, which will store logs, firewood, stone, coal and iron, as it says there. Basically because they need resources to build this. Now, where's the little cart that you start with? There they are. In this cart there is resources already, so what would happen is they would go over and then come back and then go over and come back to carry the resources. But if I let me zoom out, what am I doing? Going the wrong way. If I build one of these here, just a very small one, maybe a 2x4. If I pause these buildings here, what will happen is they will build this one first, and they will remove the resources that are on there, but I can also ask them, with this tab to remove resources. Now this one will remove everything, so if I was to select that and drag across, it would remove everything here. Now if I just select stone, it would just collect the stone, and iron, and this one here does both stone and iron, but we'll just go with removing all the resources here, just so there's a few bits and pieces in the stockpile they can build these buildings with. I'll leave that there for the moment while we're paused. Right, the next thing I think we'll build, and we might build it here. I know we have this massive open area here, but I'm just trying to be a little bit closer to the stream, just because I think it's a little bit more picturesque really. So we will build let's have a look. I can't remember what I'm looking for, which is not great, is it? Tailor, blacksmith, blacksmith. That's the one I'm looking for. Right. The primary function of the blacksmith is to build tools. Now, tools are needed for all your builders and also anyone that basically does some form of trade. Without tools, they build things and complete their jobs very, very slowly. So, yeah, this is very important. At the moment, we have 13. It does last a little bit of time, but it is best to keep hold of them. We'll pause that because we don't want it to build just yet. And same again. We'll give him a little place to live. Or her. Then also we need some clothes. Now as I say, winter isn't so harsh, but we will put tailor in. There it is. I'm going to put this I might put this here and just leave a little gap where the road can go past. Actually, yeah, we'll put it there, and then the same again. We'll put a little house just there. Right, so these are some of the basic things that we need. There's only one thing left I can think of right now, and that would be, and I'm in the wrong place, would be the woodcutter. Now the woodcutter converts logs into a fuel, so in this case it will be firewood, which are then taken into the homes to keep them warm. They definitely need it, so it needs to be built. Now the best place to build this would be somewhere near where you're going to build your forestry node, I suppose. As this kind of goes off into the middle of nowhere, I'm probably going to build a forester node here. So I'll place this. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, I think we'll go with there. We'll also pause that. I'm going to plot one more house. Plot that there. Pause that one as well. Right, as we were talking about foresters. This is the Forester's Lodge. Now, the primary function of this building is to plant and also chop trees. Now, once it's placed, we can decide whether they plant or chop or both. We'll put that down. Again, you can see the orange circle of influence, so that's the area where they will work. Coincidentally, inside that circle you can see iron and stone. That's in their way, so they will actually remove that for you so they can plant more trees. So it's kind of useful, but not. I would say it's probably better to remove that with your labourers, if I'm totally honest with you. And the forester will also need a home. If we place, I've lost where Llama is now. Yeah, we can see it there. So if I come down a touch, plop that there. Again, because I want this to build quite quickly, and they're going to chop the resources down and then try and carry them to either the stockpile that will be here or here, which is going to take them time. It's going to be worthwhile just dropping a little stockpile. So we'll put that there. Nothing too big. They'll also put their logs in here as well. which will be quite useful. Right, I think that's about it. So if I click here and start play, now at the moment we're at 1 speed, which is fairly slow. So if we just notch up to the second one, at the moment we currently have no builders, so nothing will get built, although I suppose I've only got the 2 stockpiles selected. But what the labourers will do, they will go and clear the land where it needs to be cleared, as you can see. Just zoom in. So they're clearing this for the stockpile to be built. So if I just assign 1 single builder for the moment, so as soon as they've done that, they will more than likely move these resources away and take them here. Oh no, actually, they've turned it straight to a stockpile. Let's have a look. So obviously this is where you can see I told them to remove the resources. And they're doing it, and that stockpile is also complete. So we'll let them do that. Right. God, it seems like so many people. I'm going to unpause the woodcutter. I mean, it's still early on in the year, spring. But still, I like to be prepared. And we'll also unpause the house. I'm just going to quickly chuck in an extra builder. This is how many jobs that need to be done. It's only 5, but as I have so many labourers, it's not really a big problem right now. And I'm just going to mark some trees to be chopped. Oh, actually, I just realised something. He's also going to need a stockpile. Now, obviously there's the 2. I think we'll go with a fuel stockpile. Where is it? There it is. Now he's gonna obviously chop his wood and need to put this somewhere. So if I leave a little bit of space here for a road to go through, and just plop this across the road. Oh, plop it there. Ah, here we go. We have our first event. The reserve of stone is low, which is up here. So it's just letting us know. Now this is stone here, so I can quite easily go in here, tell them to collect that. As you can see, it's highlighted the one's red. So all these guys will come down here now and do that. They're quite efficient, they're like ants. It's quite interesting watching them sometimes. I mean, at the moment it's quite good because you have so many. But once they start fulfilling jobs, then we need to rely on procreation. Yeah, families. It's quite an incestuous kind of universe, this, as there's only so many families. But what I think I might do is I might pick one of the families and we'll follow them, and we'll follow their children. And I would try and follow quite a few, but I think we'll just go with the one. Oh, it must be lunchtime. Everyone's going back to the cart. Let's watch what happens. Yep, they're eating their potatoes. Well, I can't begrudge them a break, can I really, I suppose? It's just funny they all seem to go at the same time. Right, so where are we at now? Okay, that's got all of its resources. It just needs the builder to finish it. That's brilliant. The house, that's why we were short on stone. But we seem to have enough for that now, and I guess once they've finished munching on their spuds, they'll come back and clear all this for us. Then, once they've built this, I think we'll go with the fishing dock. We'll build the house first. Just because I feel mean having them all walking around in this lovely, well, it's supposed to be Mediterranean weather, but I guess they have rain as well. Right. Ah, look, there's some deer. I will build a hunter's lodge later on to hunt these. It does provide food and kind of hides for the tailors who use, but it's not great. It doesn't really give you a lot, but it gives you just enough, I would say, to support your civilians. Right, woodcutters. So we've got a big question mark, which is letting us know that we've not actually got anybody assigned to do this job. So this will tell us how many woodcutters we have in total, so if we have more than one of these buildings. And here we can assign a woodcutter. So one of the citizens now becomes one. We have a fuel limit of 200. At the moment we'll leave that, it's fine, but as time progresses we'll increase that. Because we're going to need more as we have more houses, and we can also trade it as well. Obviously we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This house is looking nice. Coming along quite quickly. So as soon as that's built, and that will be our first house by the looks of it. Yep. Our family should move into that. Oh, blimey. We've got 3 children already. They've been busy out in the forest. And we'll unpause that fisherman's hut as well because we need food. So at the moment, we've got a source of heat. We will have a source of food, albeit not the most plentiful source, but it will do for the moment. We still have quite a bit, as you can see here. And the next main thing for me is going to be homes to get all these people in before winter comes. So let's have a look what we got here. That was a wooden house. We'll unpause that one as well. And when we talk about food, I mentioned earlier the gatherer's hut. Now this is fantastic. The amount of food this provides is just, well, I would say unparalleled, but it's just constant source of food. I'm going to plot that here because they gather from within the trees. So as the forester hut is going to be planting a lot, this place is going to provide us everything we need just to basically support this little community that we have at the moment, and then into the future as well. We will build farms and other things, but this will be perfect for now. I'm just going to chuck a house in here as well, actually, while I think about it. And pause that one as well. As you can see, they're clearing the trees ready. What's going on here? They're just being lazy. Probably going to eat some more potatoes. Yep. Oh no. Oh yes, they are. Must be quite boring living on potatoes. Come on, build this fisherman's hut. We need some fish to go with those potatoes. Right. Let's see. I really want to get this wooden house built and get this gatherer's hut built, because I don't want to rely solely on fish. But yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. We'll get there eventually. I just had a thought, we also need a barn. This can support quite a bit of items, but a barn would be more useful. Probably somewhere here, because the fish can be carried there, because as soon as they fish they have to place it somewhere, and at the moment they're going to carry their fish there, which is going to make them slightly unproductive. So actually, yeah, I know what we're going to do. We're going to put a meat locker. Now a meat locker is like a barn, I suppose, but it's quite literally just for meat, as the name would suggest. Now if I put that here, and we'll build that straight away, as soon as they fish they'll put it straight into there. So they've only got this little journey, and obviously they'll live here more than likely, so it keeps them in this area. Then when people want the fish, they'll only travel to this area, which isn't as far, which is a lot better than them walking all the way over here. We will remove that eventually, but for the moment it's quite fine. Oh gosh, what's taking so long with this fisherman dock? Oh, it's almost done. Come on. A few more percent. I swear they're just going to walk off and leave it at 1%. Nope, there we are. So let's have a look at this. It's a shame they don't use the boat. Unfortunately they don't. Right, we can assign a maximum of 4 fishermen to this dock. We have a food limit of 5,000, which is plenty enough right now, but I'm just going to assign 1 fisherman, and we have this here. It's a production statistic, so in this case it'll tell you how many fish they've fished, and then obviously the following season, oh sorry, the other way, I'm looking at the wrong way around there, the current season, so that'll be now, and then once a year has gone by, the current will become the previous, and then you can kind of compare to see how they're doing. And as we're kind of halfway through a year anyway, it's not really going to count, but you can kind of judge the difference between having 1 fisherman and 2 fishermen. Let's have a look in here. I'm thinking eventually that'll change to fishermen. Oh, is that another house? Certainly is. And that one. Right, we still need 3 more homes. So, I think if we build 1, 2... Oh, we're running out of food. Oh dear. It's not good, is it? Let's build this gatherer's hut. It's becoming a priority now. Ah, what have we got here? Let's have a look. Oh, right. So some of our children have become adults. They're all becoming labourers, bless them. Well in. Oh, we got a Welshman. Right, I think we'll leave it right there. Leave these guys to work, and I'll see you on the next video.